Hola, mi nombre es Daniela Cepeda de Promoción de Paz y yo voy a ser su maestra de inglés durante este tercer semestre. Durante la clase voy a tratar de hablar tanto en inglés como en español para que se pueda entender un poco mejor todos los temas. Cualquier duda, háganmela saber al final del video. Welcome to your English class. I always like starting with some class policies, which are always asking questions if any topic is unclear. Suggestions and feedback are welcome, and have fun learning and seize the day. Vamos a tratar de aprovechar estos minutos, aunque sean pocos, para aprender y formarnos como personas. Our learning topics for today are zero conditional. Zero conditional is used to talk about things or ideas that are generally always true. And here we have a general formula that applies for zero conditional sentences. Part A is the condition, which is if you boil water, and part B is the consequence, it vaporizes. Part A will always have a word, it could be if, when, or unless, to indicate the condition. La parte A va a ser la condición y la parte B va a ser la consecuencia. Por ejemplo, si hervimos agua, se va a vaporizar. And as I said before, there is the if clause and the result clause. And the if clause is always conformed by if, then a subject, then a verb in simple present, and a complement. And the result clause will be a subject, a verb in present simple, and a complement. And we're going to see this general formula applied in the next slides. For example, if you put water in the freezer, if it becomes ice. Part A will be the condition, and part B is the consequence. Si pones agua en el congelador, se va a convertir en hielo. And this formula can be switched. We can start with part B, which is the consequence, and then with part A. For example, my dog gets excited if we walk him to the park. It is zero conditional, but with the switched order from part A and part B. Here we have a grammar box. We have the if zero conditional, how to form it, and an example. And we can have these sentences in affirmative form, in negative form, or in interrogative form, afirmativo, negativo, o interrogativo. How are we going to form these sentences? We have here examples, which is a bit easier to understand. For example, in the affirmative form, we have, my father gets angry if he loses his key. Here we have part B, which is the consequence, and here we have part A, which is the condition. Then we have the negative form. My mother doesn't let me go out with my friends if I don't finish my homework. Here again we have part B first, the consequence, and then part A, the condition. And how are we going to know if it's in negative form? Well, we have the verb in its negative form, doesn't, no me deja. And in the interrogative form, we have, does your mother get angry if you come home very late? Here the interrogative form we can identify it easily because it is in the form of a question. ¿Tu mamá se enoja si tú llegas tarde a casa? As I mentioned before, we can use if, when, or unless as keywords to generate zero conditional sentences. And here we have the general formula. If, when, or unless, plus the present form, plus present simple or imperative. Example, when you take a plane, you arrive faster to your destination. Observe here that we have the use of a comma to differentiate between the consequence and the condition. Let's review today's topic using if, when, or unless to fill the sentences. Here we have either affirmative, negative, or interrogative forms of zero conditional sentences. The first one is blank, you pay the ticket, you can't go to the cinema. Unless you pay the ticket, you can't go to the cinema. Si no pagas tu ticket, no puedes ir al cine. Number 2, take your running shoes, blank, you are going to play football. Take your running shoes if you are going to play football. Lleva tus tenis si vas a ir a jugar fútbol. Number 3, blank, you pass your driving test, you can drive alone. When you pass your driving test, you can drive alone. Cuando pases el examen de manejo, tú puedes manejar solo. Number 4, do you go to sleep early, blank, you are tired? Do you go to sleep early if you are tired? ¿Te vas a dormir temprano si estás cansado? This general formula will be very useful. I suggest that you study the general formula and then understand when to use each word. So this was a very brief class, and I hope it was very clear, the contents of today's topic. If there is any question, you can ask whatever it is your question. Pueden preguntarme cualquier cosa, cualquier inquietud, y yo trataré de responderla. E igualmente trataré de seguir siendo breve y concisa, o en caso de que necesiten que sea un poco más extensa, también lo podemos hacer. Thank you for your attention, and we will be seeing each other in the next classes.